Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Hey guys. Okay. Happy Thursday. Okay, guys. So I want to talk about Chad Wheeler. I do want to tell you this. I want to say this quote first. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Who said that? Buddha said that. And that's so true. The truth will set you free. And the truth will always come out, Chad Wheeler. Okay. So let me read the background about this, okay? This hits close to home. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and this... Okay. Former Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman Chad Wheeler pleaded not guilty on Monday, February 1st to 3 criminal charges stemming from an alleged attack last month against his girlfriend. It left her with a dislocated arm and other injuries. Wheeler, who was out of jail after posting $400,000 bail, entered the plea to domestic violence assault, unlawful imprisonment, and resisting arrest in King County Superior Court in Washington. Okay, so he pled not guilty. Wheeler's lawyers asked the court to allow him to return to Hawaii, where he has a residence, but the judge ordered Wheeler to remain in Washington state and to wear a home monitoring device as a condition of his pretrial release. His trial is set to begin April 6th. All right. Wheeler's 27 years old. He was arrested January 22nd after police say he strangled his girlfriend, dislocated her arm, tried to suffocate her, and smashed her in her face after she refused to bow to him. You heard that right, people. Bow to him. Ugh. If he's convicted of all charges, he faces a standard sentencing range of roughly 9 to 12 years in prison. Wheeler's girlfriend was at the hearing with her arm in a sling. A victim's advocate read a statement from her that said, in part, "I want you to know that I believe as long as Wheeler is not in custody, I'm not safe. Chad never called the police after the assault, even though he thought I was dead. Now Chad is out of custody, staying in a hotel, watching this play out on social media. This current status places my safety at risk, and I do not believe a protective order or a condition of release is sufficient to keep me safe." No shit. In a statement released last week, the Seahawks announced that Wheeler is a free agent and no longer with them. Thank you, the NFL did something right. Fired the butt. All right, listen to this crap, y'all. Wheeler apologized on Twitter, writing, "Events happened over the weekend that transpired from a manic episode. I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering that I have caused to Aaliyah and her family." He tweeted 2 other things, but come on. His freaking lawyer wrote that. Idiot. According to court records, Aaliyah told police that she thought she would die at one point after losing consciousness during the ordeal, and Wheeler reportedly also expressed surprise that she survived. The drama unfolded about 9:45 p.m. when officers were dispatched to a report of a domestic dispute at an apartment in the 22600 block of 91st Way South in Kent, according to the case file. Dispatchers told responding officers that the victim, Wheeler's girlfriend, and her family had called 911 and reported she had locked herself in a bathroom after she was attacked and strangled unconscious by Wheeler. When officers arrived, they heard a woman screaming and had to force their way inside the apartment. They then broke down the door to a locked bathroom where they found Wheeler with his girlfriend. She was crying in pain, her face was covered in blood, and her arm was hanging limply at her side. The officers got Aaliyah away from Wheeler and managed to finally detain Wheeler after he resisted arrest, and he was crying out, "Sorry, and I don't beat women." So let me just add in here that they used a taser on him, and it really didn't affect him. Okay, so the girlfriend was rushed to the hospital where she told investigators that the incident began suddenly when Wheeler told her to stand up and bow to him. When she refused to do so, Wheeler threw her on the bed and began strangling her with one hand and trying to smother her with his other hand. What a good guy. Wheeler's 6'7" tall and weighs 310 pounds. His girlfriend is 5'9", weighs 145 pounds. She began to lose consciousness and tried to fight back, but Wheeler grabbed her arm and twisted it. She then lost consciousness completely for an unknown length of time. When she regained consciousness, the girlfriend saw Wheeler by the bed and said, "Wow, you're still alive?" That son of a bitch said, "Wow, you're still alive?" She then jumped up and ran to the bathroom where she called her family and dialed 911. Wheeler was able to pick the lock to the bathroom and entered, and then began apologizing profusely. Shortly after that, officers arrived on the scene. An officer asked Aaliyah if she thought she was going to die during the ordeal, and she replied, "I thought I already had." Court records show that Wheeler was involved in a previous violent incident in December of 2015 in LA, in which police had to subdue him by firing multiple beanbag rounds. Okay, so I could so relate to this. I was married to a horrible man. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. You know, the night the incident happened, he was arrested. And I can't even imagine what Aaliyah is going through. I remember those days, you know, when I knew he wasn't in jail, and at any given second, he would come at me and finish me off. The only reason I don't live in fear today is because he's in prison for the attempted molestation of a 14-year-old girl, which, thank God, it was an undercover police officer. You know, he had planned what he was going to do sexually to this poor little girl. And the sick, pathetic thing was he had a 14-year-old daughter that he was raising on his own because his wife had died in a car accident. So, you know, I understand where Lee's coming from. You can put an ankle monitoring thing on him all you want to, but guess what? If he wants to go kill her, he's going to leave where he's at and he's going to go kill her. A restraining order does absolutely nothing. What are you going to do if he goes to strangle her again? Throw the paper at him? Like, excuse me. This just really struck close to home. Like, you know, I saw it on It's a Crime. Linda did a video on it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And, you know, when I hear about cases like this, everything that I went through comes rushing back. And here's one thing I want to say. When he went into the bathroom and he was apologizing to her, when he picked the lock and went in apologizing to her, hello, he knew what he had done. You know what I mean? He can say it was during a manic phase all he wants to, but the bottom line is he knew enough to know that what he had done was wrong, you know? So I don't have any sympathy for him. If he has a mental illness, his ass should be, you know, in therapy, and he should be on medication, and he should be doing what he needs to do. But I could care less about him. I think he's a piece of crap. I think he used his mental illness as a reason to harm her because she pissed him off. And, you know, do I think my ex-husband is probably bipolar? Oh, 100 million %. But, you know, he wouldn't get help. And finally, you know, I had to go into hiding. I had to do what I had to do to protect myself because he was a freaking psycho. It feels so bad for this girl, Aaliyah. And, you know, I've been there. I understand her pain. It's very real. And even after being married to a wonderful man for 30 years, this case just brought all those feelings back up, you know, about that night, you know, when he shot the gun, and just brings back all those feelings. It's, you know, it's really stressful. So I just wanted to do this because I hope and pray that Aaliyah is going to be okay. It's not something that ever goes away. It's always in your mind. And you do look over your shoulder a lot. The only reason I don't look over my shoulder today is because I know the SOB is locked up. But he wasn't for quite a few years, and I did look over my shoulder. My son and I went to a gas station and ran into him, and I was scared to death. Fortunately, he didn't see me, but it's scary. I mean, you know, and in my particular situation, my ex-husband even said, oh, well, if we wouldn't have been so young when we met, I wouldn't have abused you. Okay. But I just wanted to bring out the point that this SOB, Chad Wheeler, I'm glad that the NFL fired him. I hope no other football team hires him. I hope and pray that, you know, Canadian Football League doesn't hire him. I hope that, you know, maybe if he's in a position where he loses everything, maybe he'll then go get help and get on medication and do what he has to do. But he doesn't deserve to be a football player. You know, kids look up to NFL players. He doesn't deserve that. He's a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. And Aaliyah, God bless you and your family, and please go get some help. Talking to somebody really does help. Like, it took me a while to come around to going to therapy, and once I did, it was the best thing I ever did. So if Aaliyah happens to see this or her family happens to see it, you know, my heart's with you. If you want to contact me, I would love to talk to you. But first and foremost, I just pray that, you know, you're safe and you're okay. And I hope this psychopath gets what he deserves. And I mean, our justice system is awesome, right? But he pled not guilty. And then he released a statement on Twitter acknowledging that there were issues that had gone on, which of course, you know, his lawyer probably wrote that, but it just pisses me off, y'all. I hope he gets locked underneath the prison because this beautiful woman, Aaliyah, her life is worth so much more than 9 to 12 years in prison. Okay, sorry. Be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy. Hopefully we'll get through this pandemic crap soon, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting pretty tired of it myself. I hope everybody's doing okay. And yeah, that about does it for me. Bye, guys.